Hi, my name is Nicole McCallister, and I'm one of the social workers here at Ironwood Cancer and Research Centers. And I wanted to talk today about wigs. One of the unfortunate side effects of some of our cancer treatments is that women and men experience hair loss, and sometimes that's a very uncomfortable side effect that they can't live with. And they look for options to cover their head and feel more beautiful, feel more natural, look more like themselves. Sometimes they go for a whole new look, and that's with the use of a wig. And so we're going to talk about wigs in general, kind of the different options you have and how do you get them. So first of all is, how do you pick one? So there's boutiques all across the valley, some really good ones, and the social workers at Ironwood maintain a list of boutiques in the valley that really work well with cancer patients. We look for those that kind of do individual appointments, who do the styling and trimming to kind of make sure that the wig fits the patient, but also are aware of grants and resources financially for those that cannot afford one. And so most insurances do cover wigs. So the first thing you're going to do if you find out you're going to be in treatment, and it's a treatment where you might lose your hair or you're likely to lose your hair, is you're going to call your insurance. Every plan is different. I know some that provide $175 towards a wig, and then there's some that provide up to $2,000. And so there's just varies. Medicaid and most straight Medicare plans do not provide any kind of reimbursement. So you always want to double check. We unfortunately can't maintain a list of every insurance plan and what they do cover. So when you call social work, we always tell you the first thing to do is check your insurance. So you just call the number on the back of your insurance card. You say, I need wig because I'm a cancer patient and I'm going to have treatment that's going to cause hair loss. What kind of reimbursement do you provide to me? And they're going to let you know how much. They're going to let you know the process. Sometimes they have a specific place they want you to go. Sometimes they say just go anywhere, pick one out, save the receipt, and then send it in with a prescription. So at Ironwood, we do write prescriptions for wigs. They're known as cranial prosthesis. That's the fancy medical term for a wig. Your medical assistant for your doctor can get those for you. You can also ask social work and we can coordinate with the medical assistant to get that to you. You take that prescription, it prints out like on a regular piece of paper, and you submit it with your receipt to your insurance, and then they provide that reimbursement. For those that don't have a plan that provides that reimbursement, we can assist with grants that are available in the community. For example, there's two major grants that we use. One is Wigged Out, and that can be used with any type of cancer for our patients who are going through active treatment. Sometimes patients later on after treatment have experienced continued hair loss or partial hair loss, but they're not in active treatment anymore. And so a lot of times the grants don't help them, unfortunately. So these grants are available through Wigged Out for active treatment. That means you're getting chemotherapy, immunotherapy, you're about to have surgery, or you're in radiation. Those are the four main active treatment stages. The other one that we use is checkforalump.org. This one is very easy to do, and they are contracted with a few boutiques across the valley. You can fill out the application online, or you can work with us to get that application completed. The one thing you do need to finalize that application is a copy of your pathology report. This is to confirm you have breast cancer, because the grant is only available for breast cancer patients. And that grant does provide up to $350 credit at a store. And so say you choose Classy Sisters over in Phoenix as the boutique you're going to get your wig at. It's one of our long-standing community partners. We have several, and that's one of them. They would send the $350 credit over to Classy Sisters so that when you make an appointment and come in, you have that balance to shop with. So what can you get? You can get a wig. So here's one that's in one of our boutiques currently at Scottsdale. And there's different types. So we're going to talk about those different types now. So there's two main categories, and that's human hair and synthetic. And a lot of patients say, oh, I want to get a human hair wig because it's going to look more natural. It's going to feel more natural. People won't even know I'm wearing a wig. It is true. That is one of the pros, that it feels like real hair because it is real hair. However, some of the cons to choosing a human hair wig is they're extremely expensive. On average, they start around $1,000 that I've seen. We've had a couple that were donated over the years to Ironwood, and with the price tags, $1,000 and up. So they're very, very expensive. They're also real hair, so they're more brittle, and you can damage them from brushing, from styling. You also have to care for them a lot, like real hair. So you have to wash them, you have to shampoo them, you have to condition them, and keep them very hydrated, because they can dry out. The human hair isn't connected to the body and getting like nutrients and stuff fed through it, so the hair will dry out very fast, and so you have to be careful with those. The other option is a synthetic wig. This is a synthetic wig, so it's made of man-made materials like plastic, but as you can see, and you look closely in there, the variance in color is very nice. It looks like highlights in a natural hairstyle or a stylist made style. Synthetic wigs are really good because they're easy to take care of. They're very durable. You can style them. Some of them have like heat resistant up to certain temperatures, so you can use flat irons, curl irons, put curlers in them, whatnot. You can put product in them, but you don't really need to. Usually they have a style that comes with it, and they're pretty much wash and go. And you don't have to wash them all the time. You just kind of gauging how often you've worn them. Have you been sweating? Do you have your natural body oils on the underneath side of the wig that you kind of need to clean out? Were you using product and then out in a dust storm in Arizona and it kind of attracted that? So with the synthetic wigs, they're very easy to wash. You just put them in the sink, a little shampoo, just gently kind of create like a little massaging. You don't want to do it too rough, but just a little bit, kind of rinse it really good, and then you're going to hang it on like a wig head or a wig stand with airflow, and just kind of lightly kind of brush it out, get it back to that style that it was there, and it just dries, and then you touch it up and you're good to go. With the human hair wigs, like I said, it takes a lot more conditioning, a lot more treatment, a lot more products, and again, being very, very gentle. One thing to note about either human or synthetic wigs is that anything you do to them is permanent. So if you give them a trim yourself and you cut it and you accidentally cut it a little too off, it's not going to grow back. And so you either kind of got to go with it and just cut it a little more and then adjust to kind of cover that mistake, or take it into a stylist. And that's what we recommend. Is you'll often purchase a wig and maybe the bangs are a little too long. There's just something kind of cutting into your face. So take it to a stylist or go to a boutique to pick out the wig where they have someone that can style and trim that. You want to make sure that there's no mistakes, because you can't fix it or wait for it to grow out like human hair. So as you can see, we have these little pins that hold the wigs down in place for style purposes. But underneath is kind of what it looks like. It's got this mesh, and you can see how it's all attached and sewn in, and they have these adjustable straps. And what's important is getting a good fit. And so most people have an average size head, but there are people who have smaller heads, and by head, it's not what you measure with hair on, it's what you measure with just the base, just your skull. And so that's important to know. That's why it's hard to purchase one online without actually trying it on, because you don't know what size you'll be or how to adjust it. But you want to have a nice tight fit, because you don't want to be out in public and maybe the breeze picks up, maybe you get jostled or trip or stumble and it moves. That's when, you know, people feel uncomfortable, is when it's noticeable that it's a wig, when it moves and it's not off place or it's off centered. And so that can be kind of an embarrassing moment. So the important thing is make sure it fits right, make sure it's tight but comfortable. A lot of people do say that this underneath is very hot, and especially in Arizona in the summertime, wearing a wig is not the most comfortable thing. It can feel sweaty, it can feel itchy, it can even irritate your scalp. Your scalp's gonna be really, really sensitive because of treatment and the hair loss that you experienced. And so then having that mesh on there can be really challenging. There is some that have this nice lace that does kind of make it smooth. Another tip you can use is they sell these caps that are like pantyhose material that'll hold any fuzz you may have down, or little curls or tendrils still, or just kind of putting one more barrier in between your skin and the wig. You can also take a men's t-shirt and cut off the sleeve and kind of pull that over your head. That's going to give you a nice cotton wrap. It's a lot easier to wash and a lot easier to clean, and it feels softer on your skin. We always recommend that if you're going to wear a wig, try them on. The synthetic wigs are going to be a lot more affordable than the human hair wigs, and maybe you could even pick out a couple and see. I always tell patients when they're going to go pick out a wig, take one of your friends, take one of your family members, even take your spouse, and go in. Take a camera so that you can take pictures of yourself trying on the wig. It's one thing to see yourself in a mirror, but another thing to see yourself in a picture. So always kind of look at yourself in the mirror, ask your friend, someone you trust, what they think, and then also you know, look at that photo and how does it kind of come across. Don't feel like you have to pick out a wig that matches what you have now. If you want that look, you can, but I've had some ladies who have come in and they had like a longer blonde hair, like naturally, and they leave with like a little pixie red hair look, and it looks good, and they feel like, well, if I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna look like it's not my hair anyways, I might as well have fun with it. So do what makes you feel good, what makes you feel beautiful, have fun with it, relax. Try on a bunch of different wigs at different styles. I can tell you that there are wigs that look really good on the heads and you think, oh, I want that one, and then you put it on your head and it just doesn't look real good. We even have a few wigs that are in our boutiques at Ironwoods, or I've seen in stores where they're kind of on display, but they're at the top and it's like not easy to reach, and those are usually the ones where like no one's gonna want that one. It looks a little off or something, but then someone puts it on and it looks great on them. So you just never know. It really, and you have to try on and you just have to see, and like I said, look in the mirror, look in the photo, kind of adjust to what you want to do. Have a backup plan. So don't just rely on the wig, because you might have a day where it's just too uncomfortable to wear. So what you're going to do is put on a nice cotton beanie or a silk beanie or a wrap. I always recommend going online to Amazon, and if you search chemo cap, you're going to find tons of them, different colors, different patterns, different styles, very affordable. The boutiques have them. Usually they're a little more pricey at the boutiques, but you know, get a variety, get all one color, do whatever you got to do to just feel good. And remember a couple of things, that like the fan in our house, or ceiling fans or air conditioning kicking on, is going to cause a draft. And your whole life you've had this fur coat on your head and it's kind of kept you warm and protected, and now that fur coat's gone. And so little things like drafts and breezes are going to hit you a little differently, especially at night. So a lot of women and a lot of gentlemen who wear these, you know, will put on a nice cotton cap at night. Those are easy to wash. You can also use a scarf and to tie, and there's lots of videos online on how to do different styles, and I'm not gonna demonstrate for you now, but I am gonna show one that is just really easy, and it's just a nice simple scarf. It's not the infinity scarf that's like a circle. It's a end-to-end scarf. These are from the dollar store, and they're perfect length, perfect size to just wrap around your head, tie, and kind of tuck in, or leave it tied to the side. They're nice and light, as you can kind of see. They're see-through, and so they're gonna not cause you to have any irritation. They're very soft on the skin, and they're easy to wash, and they have different patterns. So Dollar Tree is always changing out their patterns, their scarves with the season, so you can get fun holiday looks, but that's an easy thing to do at home. We also recommend, if you're going to be outside, a nice thing to do with a scarf is to just tie it around your head and put it to the back. Kind of make sure your ears are covered, because your ears are skin that's going to be exposed to the sun, and put a hat on. That way, if you're going to be outdoors, it's covered, protected, and you're not going to get that sunburn or irritated skin. Again, your skin could be more sensitive than normal because of the treatments you're going through. So we just want to keep you safe, keep you covered. So if you have any questions about wigs, or you want to know a little bit more, or you'd like to visit one of the boutiques at Ironwood, or find out some good stores in the community that you can go to, ask to speak to one of the social workers. There's 3 of us at Ironwood, one in the east, that's Jody. Then there's me, Nicole, in the central part of town, and then Ignacio on the west side of town. You can call our coordinator, Emily, at 480-314-6660, or you can email socialwork@ironwoodcrc.com and get connected to one of the social workers to talk about your options, to talk about wigs and caps and everything that you'll need to feel good during your treatment journey. If you have any other needs as well, you can contact Supportive Care Services. Take care.